Today, Liss and I are going to explore the topic of visualization and what that actually truly really means, not just to me or to Liss, but what it can mean on a grander scale.
Hi, and welcome to Light for Life. If you are returning to our channel, thank you. We value and appreciate you. Our aim is to shine a bright light on your inner splendor and assist to connect you to your magnificence via what we intend to be enlightened sharing, potentially educational and hopefully entertaining information, as well as encouragement for new perspectives. If you are new here, you are most welcome. We do hope that you will find our content highly beneficial and enjoyable. I am Liss. I'm a Science of Mind practitioner and a teacher of various healing modalities applicable to all aspects of the self and this life.
And I am Lori. I am a holistic wellness researcher and educator. Welcome to Connections with Liss and Lori. We use the space to offer our perspective regarding multiple different topics that we certainly hope you find inspiring. For me, visualization comes very naturally. When somebody shares a story with me, I can see it quite clearly in my mind's eye, and I see all of the details and the colors, and sometimes even the scents if they're talking to me about flowers or foods or anything like that. I'm a very, very visual person, and I can visualize what they're telling me in verbal form, if that makes sense. But we can also relate to visualization when people talk about creating vision boards. They use visualization techniques to essentially map out or manifest the things, places, experiences that they want to bring into their life, and having that visualization in their actual visual field is a tool that many believe helps bring those people, places, or things into their experience. And it is a very helpful, powerful tool that can help us align with our ability to create experience our lives. I don't know how to explain it other than a tool that we can use to map out what we want to experience. But it's not just something that we would place before us. It's something that we can hold in our conscious awareness as well. It's a mental process. It's an energetic process. It's a practice, if you will, to align with the energy of our desired outcome.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, Lori. It's power. It's creation power. So many people don't understand the imagination. They use it as an escape mechanism, which is lovely, or they use it negatively to worry about things that they don't want. The imagination is so powerful. It is literally where all physical creation begins, is in imagination. I think of all our faculties, it is the one that is the closest to God's image. We literally get the word imagination from image. It is our divine essence at play, literally. So what game do we want to play with our imaginations? And as you mentioned before we started recording, there is a tiny percentage of the population who can't imagine in pictures. But I offer to those people that you can imagine in stories.
Mm-hmm.
And like you say, use external tools like vision boards. Having things in your line of sight is very powerful. because it's a scientific fact that the brain does not know the difference. It can't tell the difference at all between things that are actually happening and things that we're imagining, particularly if we're employing all five senses in our imagination. So if we are hearing and we are touching and we are smelling and we are moving around and we're feeling and thinking and hearing ourselves speak, then the brain has no way to know that this is not happening. And we literally make it real by virtue of employing our senses in imagination. And if you're open to it, I'd love to do a little exercise in perception with you live here on a recording. Would you like to?
I'm always game. Let's do it.
That's what I love about you. That's what I love about you. Okay, hon, close your eyes for a second. And I want you to visualize a park, a beautiful park. And in this park is a very long, very, very long and slightly windy path. And you're standing right at the top of it. Perhaps there's a little gate that you haven't opened to walk through yet. But from your vantage point at the top of this path, you can literally see right down to the end of the path. And at the end is a whole hedgerow of what looks like beautiful rose bushes. And you really, really want to see them up close and smell them. Now, what I want you to do is I do not want you to walk down the path towards the roses. I want you to zoom your perception. Zoom in on those rose bushes. I love that smile because you can, can't you?
I already did it.
You can, yeah. You can bend down and
too
smell
long. I didn't want to go all the way down there.
You can bend down and smell them, right?
Yes. Yep.
Have a nice deep whiff and then zoom your perception back out to where you're still standing at that little gate.
Wow.
Now, how magical is that, hun?
Yeah.
You can open your eyes now. I'm done. I just wanted to prove to you and to our viewers in real time that we control our perception.
Yeah.
My goodness, we can zoom it. Imagine what we can do with an ability like that.
Yeah.
What would you like to see? Where would you like to go? What would you like to zoom in on? Even inside the body.
Yeah.
All the way to outer space. It's limitless. Wow. It's limitless what our perception can show us if we'll exercise it.
Wow. Wow. And it's interesting that I've actually done this a lot without realizing that I've done that. And I'll actually give a tangible example. If you have ever seen a hummingbird in real life, they move so quickly. They're so small and they move so quickly. It is really challenging to truly get a glimpse of a hummingbird. But when you have something like a lens on a camera or binoculars, you can get a glimpse. And once you get the glimpse, that's locked in visually, right? You know, now you can see the feathers and you can see the different colors and the variations in colors. And now you've got a mental construct for that. So when...
Yeah, I must just say, carry on with the story. I'm so blessed because in our garden, we have hibiscus bushes that flourish and the hummingbirds love them. And we have tiny little bright, bright, bright blue ones. And so we get regular little hummingbird visitors and they stay around for a long time because they go from hibiscus to hibiscus to hibiscus. They're so beautiful. So I just had to put that in there.
Wow. And excuse me, in the north, we don't see a lot of different variations, but we do see them, and we have a hummingbird feeder, so we can glimpse them a little bit more, but I certainly don't get to stare at them at a hibiscus for a while. It's just not, it's not our climate. But what I find really fascinating is these little itty bitty birds here on our continent anyway, they migrate. And it's I don't know why, but it's such a stretch in my imagination to think about monarchs and these little tiny hummingbirds traveling all the way across a continent to get to warmer areas where their food is plentiful, and navigating, I just find it utterly fascinating. And I can see these little itty bitty creatures in my mind's eye zooming across the United States. And I don't know why, but it kind of makes me giggle. It's just, it's
Yeah.
fascinating to me. I think the power of the visualization process is one of our greatest experiences being here on Earth. It's, I think it's underutilized. I think it's undervalued. I think it's a little misunderstood. And I think it's such a great idea that we've come on here to talk about this, because it's like an untapped resource that people probably dismiss. You think, oh, vision boards. But it's a gift that we have at our disposal that we're either not using at all, or we don't even really know how to use it to its endless possibility outcome. And what a disadvantage to a lot. I mean, I didn't know about this for a lot of my life. I didn't realize what I was missing out on by not even understanding that this was a really great gift that I had. Not everybody, like you said, not everybody has a really strong, clear, crystal picture of how to visualize a path, or a gate on the path, or a hedgerow on a path, or dropping our bags of burden along the path so our load is lighter as we travel. All of these different guided meditations that people can go on. A lot of people just can't really connect that visually. And what a bummer. But for those who do, who can connect those dots, you can, just like everything else, you can exercise that muscle. You can strengthen that ability. You can strengthen your power to create. And I mean, what are your wildest dreams? Is it really a stretch to think that that could become reality? It's really not.
Mm. Exactly. And I think for me anyway, there are primarily two techniques for visualization that I really enjoy. And one is to play out a movie scene that I'm starring in and watching. That is the end of what I desire already accomplished. So I'm seeing the afterglow. I'm seeing the effect of what I've already created. And I'm doing that with a heart full of gratitude that it is already done. I'm watching it play out, knowing that I'm living that life. I'm already that person. I have those things, whatever it might be. But the form that is also really, really powerful is to adopt this state of being in myself and looking out of my own eyes at what I would see if I were there. So in other words, I'm not seeing my whole self. I'm seeing what myself would see.
Hmm.
And watching that and feeling that. And I think the combination of those two things together, when we're actually using the imagination as the power that it is, bringing all our senses into that moment and doing so from a high state of awareness, that we truly can have whatever it is that we desire without dictating the how, without dictating the when, without becoming attached to a particular outcome, but just accepting that it's done. And through a bridge of events, it'll effortlessly unfold for me. and see myself with it already and feel the gratitude already. Everyone always wants to connect to the first emotion of a manifestation. So if I got my desire, I would be, I don't know, so excited. Okay, but no matter how fantastic or how much excitement that would dwindle, no one maintains that high vibe of excitement for 20 years. So what would the feeling actually be after the excitement has waned and you've accepted your new reality? What is that emotional state? And usually it's something like satisfaction, really deep satisfaction, or even tremendous relief. Like, now I can just breathe. What is that emotional state? Carry that emotional state into the visualization process, because that makes it so much more real. The mind's going to have a hard time accepting all these extremely high vibe states of positive feelings as being a permanent reality. The brain knows we don't do that. We don't do that. At best, we tend to wallow around, for the most part, in a kind of peaceful contentment. So the closer we are to the emotional state that would be a slight improvement over that, the greater the feeling state we're bringing to a visualization that can actually manifest.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the emotion and the feeling aspect, because I think visualization without that it's just not going to create the sparks, right? It's almost half the job. We really do have to connect with, in my experience, I shouldn't say this is unilaterally true across the board, but in my experience, it's a matter of connecting taste, sight, touch, sound, and even tactile, like all of the things, but also the emotion of it. Like you said, there's excitement that this came into fruition, but just the utter gratitude that this experience unfolded for you, even though you had no idea how it was going to happen, even though how you had no idea you were going to bridge from this to this. That bridge did occur because you involved your whole self in the outcome. And part of that is the excitement, the contentment, the gratitude, and just the walking away with the joy that experience ultimately brought. Not only because you manifested it, but because you got to participate in that thing, whatever that thing is. A new car, a new job, an adoption, whatever the thing is. Ultimately, it's the joy and the peace and the gratitude that are left over.
Yeah, that's the thing exactly, is that we fixate on the thing.
Yeah.
And we think it's the thing that we
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
But in truth, what we want is what we believe the thing will give us in terms of a feeling.
Right.
So to go to the end from the beginning is to go to the feeling state that we believe the thing will give us. And then the less we're dictating the specifics about the thing, the easier the thing can manifest in its own way, because we're not attached.
Yeah.
But the thing is, many in not necessarily so much the law of attraction world, because they don't really go this deep, generally speaking, but in the law of assumption community, there's a lot of focus on the fact that feeling is the secret.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The question is, what feeling?
Right. What are you feeling? Yeah.
Yeah. What feeling is the secret?
Yeah.
Because it's not the feeling of the gratitude or the feeling of the joy or the feeling of whatever it is that you might be in a state of as a result of receiving the thing. That feeling that is the secret is the feeling that it is done.
Yeah.
That is the primary feeling state that we have to have. So the more we've experienced that it is done with all our senses, the more we can hold the feeling state of the fact that it is done, because we've already experienced it with all of us. In our imagination, I saw the ocean. I watched those beautiful waves. I smelt that salty air and the sand between my toes, which I just love. I was holding my beloved hubby's hand, and it was so warm. I felt my blouse blowing in the breeze while I held this incredible gratitude in my heart.
Yeah.
My mind was so focused on how fortunate am I that this is my reality.
Yeah.
You don't get more done than that. You don't get more done than that. So you come out of that little 2-minute visualization already having had the experience.
Mm-hmm.
So it is done. You don't get more done than that.
I agree. I agree. It's a very powerful tool, obviously, that we can and should be using and harnessing to, like we said earlier, energetically connect with that desired outcome. And, you know, like you said, not just the event or the object or the experience, but what you walk away from that experience, the peace, the joy, the gratitude. Having already have it, even if it's not today, energetically, you can zoom in and that experience can be real right now, today. And you can experience that joy and that peace and that gratitude right now, today.
Yes. Exactly, because faith is the substance of things hoped for. Literally, what creates the substance that's going to build the form of the hoped for thing? Trusting. Trusting. Faith is the substance. It's the matter that's going to take shape, that's going to appear. So when we know it's done and we're in faith, it's just a matter of that substance coming together, densifying, being made visible.
Thank you for connecting with Light for Life. If you appreciate reminders, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can receive those notifications. If you would like to work with one of us, you can find our contact information in the About section of this channel.
Yes, thank you for connecting with Light for Life. Please share your insights, your questions, and your comments with us in the comment section below. We value your feedback. And we really hope that we will see you for our next episode. We upload one every Thursday. Until then, bye-bye and be joyful.
Until we connect again, we send you love and light.